to the wind. I'll take a chance and let you in. Just take my hand and take me home tonight. We defeat all impossibilities. Yeah, you and me. We'll take our hearts and run free into the
What's going on, everyone? Once again, we're back with another episode of Hot Topic with Z and Tuck. I'm your host, Z, and my co-host, Tuck. This is episode 6, everyone, and, we're very excited about today's topic. Tuck, you want to tell us a little bit more about today's topic?
Sure. This is a topic I've been wanting to bring up for a long time. Since we started this about a month and a half ago. It's about suicide awareness and prevention. For some of the people that I work with and everything, they know that it's a big topic for myself. I am one of the western side of the United States admins for a group called Sex Condition Red. Tonight we're going to have a few special guests on. We're going to have Shelia Kirkbride from the. She's the founder and executive director of Warrior Research Foundation, as well as Dr. Summer Watson. She's the senior executive director of Warrior Research Foundation. We're also going to have Mr. Matt Berkhouse on tonight. He is the founder and the executive director of Sex Condition Red. So we'll have them on in a few minutes, and I hope you enjoy the show. And please share and like this. This video is very important to not only to yourselves, but to multiple people that you might not know.
Absolutely.
Having those problems.
You exactly said, everything that I actually wanted to say is this is a very important topic, everyone. So, some of those people that might be in need, to listen to this topic, they might not know about the show and might not know about what we're going to be discussing throughout our episode today. So it's very important and crucial for you to, share this video with all your friends and family and, share the knowledge and hopefully, you will be part of saving someone's life. So go ahead and, like and share this video. We'll be starting momentarily, and we'll be interviewing the individuals Tuck mentioned live on air. Stay with us.
Keep life.
Good. How are you? Okay, and Sheila's with me. Hello.
Yeah, we had to get our mic turned up here.
Hello, everyone. Once again, we're back with our episode, Hot Topic with Z and Tuck.
Yeah, all right. With us tonight, we got Dr. Summer Watson, who's the Senior Executive Director of Warrior Research Foundation, as well as Shelia Kirkbride, who's the founder and the Executive Director of the Warrior Research Foundation. I want to thank y'all for coming on to the show tonight, ladies, and I hope y'all are doing good tonight.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yeah, can you give us a little bit of background about yourselves and as well as the Warrior Research Foundation and its mission?
Absolutely. My background, I have an undergrad in psychology and a master's in rehabilitation counseling, and one of the reasons that Warrior Research Foundation is so important to us. Obviously, we both come from military families, but I grew up in a household where, unfortunately, my father suffered from PTSD, so it definitely affected a lot of my life. So it was important for me, to come together because with a passion for research and just a desire to make a difference in the lives of military families and the veterans.
And this is Summer Watson, Dr. Summer Watson, and my background is in, I have a master's in human services with a specialization in counseling, and I have a doctorate in clinical psychology. And as Sheila said, WRF is important to us because we both come from a family of veterans, and both of our husbands have served in the Marine Corps. They are both now recently retired, and yeah. War, and what that means for the military spouse as well as for the military member. So.
Okay. And how long has Warrior Research Foundation been going?
We've really been in operation since about 2015, really working on programs and working with veterans and their families.
Right. And what are some of the things that, as far as, the civilians out there as well as the other, law enforcement, military, EMTs, corrections and stuff should be looking for as far as, like signs and people that actually are in the need? Because I know most people are, when they are in that area where they're thinking of, the bad things, are looking to they're afraid to talk to other people, because they're kind of embarrassed about it or something like that. Because what kind of things that we can look for to try to help them to speak up?
Okay, so let me just talk about a couple of things. So I think what we're trying to get to is, let's say the word, it's suicide.
Right.
So when people are depressed or talking about suicide, or not talking about suicide, there's certain things that are real indicators that people are suffering and they're not talking about it, but they're showing. And there are symptoms. So people will start to regress, they'll give things away, they'll talk about loss, they'll talk about being depressed, they'll talk about these things, yet people aren't recognizing. So they'll call them, invisible wounds, but essentially they're not invisible. Really, we're just not, I think that one of the things that we're not doing is being more aware of what the symptoms are. So once we're more aware and actually talking about it and saying the words, people feel actually more comfortable. So to bring it up makes somebody feel more comfortable because we're not skating around the issue.
Right.
So when we're talking to, people like active, retired, separated veterans, military veterans, talking to first responders, talking to people in, we're talking about firefighters, police officers, correction officers. When we're talking about all these first responders, same goes for them. They still, there are signs and their symptoms, and we need to be able to bring them up and recognize those signs and symptoms.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Plenty.
And so one of the things that WRF has done is we made a movie. So we made a movie about a year and a half ago, and it was about a unit that actually went into Afghanistan in 2008 and came back in 2009. And since their return in 2009, this one unit, which was out of 29 Palms in California, it's called 27. It was with the Marine Corps. They've lost 29 to suicide so far. 29 since 2009.
Right, and that echoes to Afghanistan, right?
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And so we now have this movie, and it is our goal to get this movie out there and to start talking about these symptoms and talking about these issues and talking about suicide and prevention more importantly. Because suicide is something that can be
really talking about the importance of developing a community of support and really making sure that other veterans know that they can reach out to other veterans. And we've actually put together what's called our V2V peer support group. And it's actually a set of guidelines on how they can actually put together a support system in their area, right down to how to invite people and what to do. And we really want veterans and their families to understand how they can develop their own sense of community and support and others to talk to just for issues like we're talking about tonight, suicide, depression, anxiety, and sometimes they just want to talk to other people who understand what they've been through.
Right. Because what Sheila and I have found, and we did a trip across the country, when was this? That was 2015, and we took a drive all the way from, it was Sheila, myself, and another female veteran spouse, and we went from D.C. all the way to California. And what we did is we stopped at a bunch of different places like VFWs, American Legions, other veteran sources, and basically we asked them, what are you not getting? What are you still seeing is the issue? Like, what are the issues? Are you still suffering? And many times we would talk to veterans that were in, from the Vietnam era or before, and they were saying, we're still suffering in silence. We still need help. And one of the things we realized by doing that trip and by talking to more veterans and by talking to us, actually, police officers and first responders, is that veterans relate to veterans better.
Right.
Which means they can talk to each other, they understand one another, and it instantly creates a bond like no other. So even though I'm a doctor of psychology, and I know that what I had to say and what I do has value, I also realize the extreme importance and value that veterans have to veterans, and the communication and the relationship that they naturally and organically have with one another, and how those relationships can really support one another, how those relationships can really minimize some of these symptoms.
Right.
That makes
Yep. And you have anything, Z?
Yeah. I'm Z. I'm Tuck's host. I actually, have, something that I want to ask. I'm not exactly sure, if it's the appropriate time to ask for it, but do you feel like the reasons why these suicides or these suicide thoughts are common to the mind of these veterans and these law enforcement officers, do you feel like the fact that these suicides are common is because there aren't enough people out there to hear them, to listen to them? Do you feel like people, like you mentioned, they talk to veterans better? Do you feel like we need to spread the word and educate more people that are non-veteran on how to discuss?
I agree. I think that the reason that these veterans feel comfortable, be them first responders, be them military veterans, is that they can relate and they have a natural, organic relationship with one another. So they've been through similar or like experiences. And the many things that I've heard about from veterans is that when we go to talk to a counselor, they just don't understand. They haven't been through what we've been through. I'm repeating I'm telling them things that they just don't relate to. And it's really difficult for me to tell this story to somebody that has no relation to really or insight about what I've done. And I think that counselors and therapists, they really want to help, but I think the veteran too is saying, I don't want to tell these stories to somebody who doesn't understand. I don't want to I don't want to disclose, and I need to be able to trust that person. And who does a veteran trust but another veteran? And that's why we decided to create the V2V Peer Support Group program, which helps veterans create groups in their community. We have guidelines on how to create these groups, how to market these groups, how to get in touch with others in the community so that they can actually form groups that create bonds, resources. They're going to be the first ones to catch somebody if they fall out, so they're really a great system of support for these veterans.
And I think you're right in saying that so many times that we'll say say the civilian community wants to help and wants to be there and listen, and sometimes at least the veterans that we've heard, or talked to, it's really hard to tell those stories to other people because they hate to share some of the difficult stories or some of the issues that they feel might be too painful, so to speak, and it's just easier to talk to another veteran who kind of gets it and they don't have to clean it up as much, so to speak, that they can really be blunt
and themselves. And also talking the same talk. So they don't have to monitor how they say something. Because there's a certain lingo or a certain way of talking that they have a military speak, or, police officers speak a certain way and they speak a certain language. Corrections officers do the same. So it's, they don't want to have to tailor that, make it pristine. They just want to be themselves. And that's what I'm finding, with our veterans in particular and our police officers, is that they just want to be themselves and be able to naturally connect with somebody.
Right. Yeah.
They don't even want to tell their spouses. Like, for instance, it's really hard for, like, our spouses or my husband, when he came back from war, to tell me or disclose to me exactly what happened for the year that he was gone in Afghanistan. And I wasn't going to pressure him to tell me, but I was definitely going to be looking out for symptoms because I'm trained to do that. However, if you're not trained to do that, that's going to be really hard. So I think one of the things that we have to do, in organizations like ours, is really be able to educate our community about what to look out for. Yeah.
It's like, maybe in the law enforcement field myself, people don't understand, some of the things that we actually see on a day-to-day basis. That actually, right? That just actually, is not all of it just rolls off your back, and so some of it just builds and builds and builds and builds, and you can't really find that person that you can connect with to where they understand exactly what you saw, what's bothering you, and stuff like that. And and you really don't want to say anything to some of the people that you work with, because then it might get around, and now they're going to have you go for a what do they call that? Fitness for duty type evaluation, and so they have a hard time of trying to release this image and all this stuff off of their mind. We do have like a critical incident response team that will come in, and you can talk to them and they'll give you resources, but a lot of people don't want to use them. And because for the same fact reason that it would go around, that, okay, this person, he's dealing with some really bad issues, and so let's go ahead and put him up for a fitness for duty evaluation. And so, and so a lot of people have to try to go to the outside and find.
So pretty much, you just you're just trying to. The main thing over here is trying to find the correct person or the correct group of people to talk to, where they will comfort you. Pretty that's what's that's what we really need. And like you did mention, a few ways of we can try and help. And like I know you mentioned the movie that you guys just made recently, and we're happy to be offering our help to you and try to let others know about the movie. That way we can share the awareness and help. So whatever we're able to do, we'll do it, because this is a very important important matter that we all should be considering. So whatever we can do to help you spread the word about the movie, we're very happy and eager to do it.
Thank you. And we have on YouTube, we have little bits on YouTube of the movie, and so we can definitely send you some YouTube,
little pieces,
clips and such,
and figure out how that we can actually show the documentary on a larger scale.
Right, which would be really helpful, because we want to raise awareness. And one of the men in the film, he's not just a veteran, a military veteran, but he is a police officer now in New Mexico. And and he's amazing because, he talked about, and he's been with us in Virginia as well, to talk about, how it is being a veteran, a military veteran, but also how it is being a police officer out in the community. And, if you don't know another veteran or if you haven't had like experiences, you're feeling alone. Right. You don't know who to talk to. So he relates to exactly what you were saying about finding the right group. And that's exactly the reason why we created the Veteran to Veteran Peer Group guidelines, so that we can really help veterans, first responders, create these groups in the community to be able to have that sense of somebody, a safe place to chat, a safe group to talk to, a safe group to, be with. And that's exactly the reason for Set Condition Red.
Exactly.
Because
it could be as discreet as you want it to be.
Absolutely. And that's exactly like kind of going into Set Condition Red. I'll talk a little bit about that.
Right.
I had a mutual friend, Matt and I had a mutual friend, and, your audience will be meeting Matt here pretty soon.
Right.
So we had a mutual friend, and she said, and he said, you've got to meet Matt. You've got to, he's a young guy. He created this group, and, I think you guys need to talk. And so we began to talk, and, we began to develop a relationship, and we began to have a mentorship with Matt. And Matt then, turned to us and said, well, you have this organization. Can we fall under the organization? And, can we help you? Can you help me? And we were absolutely all about it because we really wanted to mentor him through this. And we looked at what he had, and we thought, if we can be of support to him, and if we can, help embrace, help him launch and continue to grow Set Condition Red, it's such a wonderful resource because it really is for families, first responders, for veterans, their family members, to really just connect. And when somebody's needing help, I'm needing us, and you know this, Vincent, that I'm up late at night, and I'm looking at those things and thinking, okay, somebody needs to get to that person, or somebody, or we need somebody to talk to that person, or we're even up talking late at night just to make sure that we're okay. You know what I mean? That everything's going well, and that we've got people to vent to,
Yeah, we have people monitoring pretty much all the time, and what was amazing about Set Condition Red is that when it was first formed, within 3 months we already had a community base over 5,000.
Exactly.
And it was just like it was awe and shock just to see such support to come in for such a cause. And so we have members all around the United States, and
absolutely, across the world.
Exactly, and abroad, yes.
Right, exactly. Because it's funny because Matt is in the same career field as my husband. So my husband was in corrections as well in the military, and so we know a lot of the same people, and so we're seeing this this grow, and then the common person that Matt and I knew was in corrections. So, and yes, he was military, and they're retired now, and so it's all these little different connections. So to see this grow, in the military, outside the military, with first responders, is amazing. With family members, and family members are on there, and that's great to engage them as well.
Yes.
Because they don't want to be left in the dark either. They need a source of support as well.
Exactly. I like how we have so many admins that take care of Set Condition Red. If an incident happens, we not only can find the info that we need on the person, but we can find members in that area that can either assist or help out in that way. We have multiple resources.
And you guys are amazing. You get right on it, and then people start really investigating what's going on, reaching out, and they get in touch with either the family member, the person in crisis, or get the person in crisis help before there is an incident.
Exactly.
And that's amazing. And I've seen it happen so many times on Set Condition Red, where those admins, you included, Vincent, are in that, working that, reaching out, and finding a solution. And I haven't seen much of that on other sites,
Right.
And to see this actually in action on Second Edition Red is amazing.
Yeah.
And you save lives.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you for being an admin. Thank you for taking an interest in Second Edition Red. Thank you for being a part of this, because it means so much to so many.
Oh, it's a pleasure and honor. Trust me. I hope you all, when you watch the video tonight or whatever, I hope you enjoy our little background that we did up for tonight for the video. So you all get to see
It looks really awesome.
Oh, do you see it
Yeah,
already?
Okay.
Okay, well, that's awesome.
It looks great.
Yeah, and actually, if you're able to send us, like a link to the YouTube video right now, we can actually probably, before we end our show for the night, we can actually play a couple of minutes of it, and then we'll let the viewers know how they can actually, watch that whole movie. So if you're able to send us a link or something, we can actually play it on here before we end our show for the night.
We absolutely can. We can actually send you, a link or more than one. So, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity to
Awesome.
sit here and speak with you about some really important issues.
Yep.
And, I'm sorry. We're trying to look for a video now. And just being able to talk about Warrior Research Foundation and what we're trying to do in the community, as well as, our collaboration with Set Condition Red. And again, many, many thanks goes to you, Vincent, and Matt, and all of you who are behind the scenes, and people don't realize, you guys are doing this stuff behind the scenes around the clock, monitoring Set Condition Red, and really supporting us. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, it's a pleasure
And
and honor.
I'm just sad to see how it grew so quickly and how it's continuing to grow. There's such a
Yes.
need
Yep.
for that Condition Red, and it's just amazing, as Summer said, to see all of the wonderful things that are happening in such a community that's being built that's so necessary.
Yep.
And I'd like to put one more thing out there, too,
Sure.
regarding this community is, Set Condition Red is we're rather protective about this community because we want to make sure that they're safe, and we want to make sure that they're being supported, and that, people are in it for the right reasons. And we really care about the community, the community of Set Condition Red, our first responders, our military. And that's what WRF and Set Condition Red are really, that's the foundation, is that we care.
Yeah.
And, that's our goal, is to continue to care and do the things that we can to educate, support, create programs that will really be out in the community, that are community-based, that are accessible and doable, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay, and people wanting to find the Warrior Research Foundation, what is your internet address for the site address for yours?
Okay. So we are on Facebook. Warrior Research Foundation is on Facebook, and then we also have a website, which is warriorresearch.org.
Alrighty.
Okay.
All right.
And I think that's it. And then we're sending you a video.
Alrighty, ma'am. And we'll
Okay.
as soon as we get that, before we end the show, we'll probably play a few minutes of that.
Yeah, we'll definitely play a few minutes of that, and also we'll let people know how they can actually, when you're sending us the video, also if you can send us some instruction on how people can access the full video. I'm not exactly sure if I'm not sure if you're
What
sending.
we'll be doing right now, we don't have the medium other than through what we'll say a closed link that we've been sending out to different participants as well as family members who wanted to view it. We have that, but we will in the next couple of days hopefully be setting it up so it can go at least to see more of the snippets, if not maybe the full movie, depending on how we can show it best.
And actually, the clips are also on our website. So they are on there. And Vincent, I just sent you through Instant Messenger, I just sent you one of the clips from YouTube.
Alrighty.
Okay?
All right. Well,
Thank you.
yeah,
It was so nice to talk with you both.
Yeah, it was a pleasure and honor having you on the show.
Appreciate you guys for
Thanks so
calling
much.
in and speaking to us, and definitely we'll be spreading the word and doing as much as we can to help out with this try to help and save as much lives as possible. So we appreciate you guys being on the show with us, okay?
All right. Have a good night, ladies.
So much, gentlemen.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right, everyone, stay tuned with us. We're going to have one more interview coming up. Give us a few minutes. We'll be right back.
All right, everybody, we're back. And now we have another special guest, which is Matt Berkhouse at Second Edition Red. He's the founder and visionary. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Doing all right, guys. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. You said it was a little cold out there tonight?
Oh, yeah, it's getting cold out here in Virginia.
I hear you. So, hey, Matt, why don't you give us a little bit about yourself and your vision that come to a magical existence of Second Edition Red?
Well, I've been in the Marines for a little over 9 years now, and you know, military police corrections is a great job. Love it. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But well, Second Edition Red, some things had happened. I lost one of my Marines who had gotten out of the Marine Corps. He was pretty much a little brother to me, and we lost him to suicide. And then not even a month later, we lost another one that I worked with. And both great guys, you never see it coming. And I guess it just, I don't know, it hurt me. It hurt bad.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do or what to say, or, it's just crazy how, just to think, all the, people out there that in the military. And then, I started thinking back, I had, a family member of mine that was prior Army who committed suicide. And I had a couple friends that I went to school with that, were prior military and stuff. Mm-hmm. And, I guess as a last resort, I was just like, well, I can, maybe I can make a Facebook group and at least get, my community, my corrections community, like together and like talking to each other, even the ones that are out and the ones that are in. And there's like all kind of, Facebook groups for, certain, units in the military all over the place. But, 9 times out of 10, they're just on there, BS in here and BS in there. Mm-hmm. So I figured, I'll make a Facebook group and try to get my community in. And then it kind of exploded from there. We started getting all kind of people. It was crazy. We had, I think the first month we had 1,000. 2 months after that, we're over 5,000. Right. And, now we're about a month and a half out from being up for a year. And I think we got like 6,500. Right. And it's crazy. It's crazy how many people come together you don't even think about. And, a lot of, military people that get out, they go into public service, whether it's, correction officers, police, fire, EMS. And the thing is, they go from, almost one, I don't even know how to say it, one type of job where, everything's laid out for you, into something like public service where you're seeing all kinds of stuff, you're doing all kinds of crazy things, or fire departments, running around, trying to help people save lives. The police are responding to, incidents and stuff like that. And like all that stuff builds up, and there's really not a good event for them to go to. So, I was a volunteer firefighter for a while too. So I was like, well, I got to bring, I got to bring public service in, because, that's a part of me too. And those guys need it just as much. And it's crazy to think that, 9 months ago we were not even existent.
Right. Yeah. That's one of the things I noticed with Second District Red, man, when it started. When it started, it was so much diversity out there that came together, and they have experiences in other places and stuff like that. So we have a lot of resources that we can actually reach out to when people reach out to us, that we can send to them and be able to help these people out.
Absolutely. And just have the way the group that I guess the vision was initially when I set it up is, you have all these people out there doing like suicide awareness, and raising awareness is huge, and it's great, and I'm not at any point saying anything bad against it, but for me and with Second Edition Red, I wanted to step above awareness and go into prevention.
Exactly.
And that's where.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and so that's where we got to the we're going to reach out first, and we're going to talk to people that we haven't talked to in a while, and reconnect those friendships and stuff that you have, because we all know that day-to-day life is busy, like it's go. Like if after you're out of school, you're just an adult, like that's your option, is to be an adult, like that's all you get. Yep. So you're trying to live your life, and you got all these people that you've worked with before, with military and public service and stuff like that, and you don't really see them or hear of them. Like maybe every now and then you see something from them on Facebook, but you haven't really talked to them. You don't really know what they're going through or how they're doing. And that's one of our big speak up and reach out. Like talk to each other. Right. Get a hold of each other. People you ain't talked to in a while. If you have a way to connect with them, then talk to them. See how they're doing. Just get in front of it.
Right. Just reach out and take my hand and learn to breathe again.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling Sheila and Summer, that one of the biggest things that we're standing on the outside. So one of the biggest things that we're battling with is somebody's silence, because if we don't know, then we can't help. It's just reach out and speak with us. Like with Second Edition Red, you can be as discreet as you want to be. You can come to the page. You can post on the page if you want, and ask for somebody to talk to. You can actually post your problem on there if you want to, and have the whole community chime in. Or if you want to be really discreet, you can actually contact one of the admins, and the admins will, either help you out or either set you up with somebody that you can talk to.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. All those ways are you can only benefit. Like everyone thinks that depression and PTSD and suicidal thoughts and stuff is just that everyone share, but within within the first 3 months, we had 5,000 members that wanted to help. I want you to share your problems, because you shouldn't carry that burden alone, because 9 times out of 10, someone else is either going through that right now or had been before. And that's what's so great about our community being so diverse is,
Yeah, exactly.
active duty veterans, people that, used to be public service, corrections, police, fire, and people aren't anymore and moved on to something else. But there's still that connection that, they've experienced those things and they want to help. Like the help that we want to give is easy for us. The hard part is getting other people to realize that, it's okay to say something. Yeah. And I as myself and the rest of the admins at Set Condition Red, we won't hesitate to pretty much snatch somebody up if we think they're being out of line with somebody. If if someone's doing anything but trying to help that person, that's not what we're there for. It's a judgment-free zone. You come there with your problems, and we do whatever we can to help you out.
Exactly. And what's like you were saying, what's nice about it is our members. We have military, a lot of military members in there. We have a lot of law enforcement, PD, sheriff's departments. If I remember correctly, we even have a couple of federal agents in there, and we have and we have corrections, firefighters, EMTs. So there is somebody in there. If you're dealing with issues from those areas, there is somebody in there that has dealt with that before, or close to it, that will understand. Yeah. And then you have right, and then you have just everyday life, and in everyday life, there's with over 6,500 and some odd members, there's going to be somebody that's had close to that issue, or understands that issue, or has dealt with that issue before with somebody else, or something like that. So you can find the people within Set Condition Red, within Warrior Research Foundation, to be able to help you out with those problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And Warrior Research Foundation, they're 100% nonprofit,
right?
And a lot of people, I guess, the nonprofit is kind of an unknown area, and there's a lot of nonprofits that will try to hush the other nonprofits so they can get their nonprofit higher.
Right.
And that's one of the things I love about Warrior Research Foundation and Shelia and Summer is they could care less about the money coming in as long as they're putting help out.
Exactly. And
that right there is what sold me on, like, I want y'all to help me. I want Set Condition Red and Warrior Research Foundation to end suicide.
Right. And that's all that counts right there. Let's end the suicide. Let's put a notch in it, and then start working it to where it is non-existent.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. Actually, I got a question is how, like, for, we just talked about how discussing it with someone that has experienced the same thing, it will be a great help. Majority of the time, some of these resources are, they want that one person might want, that help right away, and the first person to get to is either their family member or their closest friend, but none of those two have dealt with whatever he dealt. What can we do to help these individuals gain some kind of knowledge in order to help individuals that want to speak to someone?
Well, if there's a family member or a spouse or just a real close friend that knows somebody that's going through these issues, I would highly recommend them to come to the site, tell us what's going on, and through our 6,500 members, we're going to be able to find somebody either in that area that can come help them if it's something that's more immediate, or with Warrior Research Foundation and Summer, she's a doctor in that field. Like, we can assist to the point to open that avenue, because you're right. I see where your question's going. A lot of people, this problem comes into their life, and they want to help somebody, but they don't know where to get that information from. And Warrior Research Foundation, they have an open email, or I guess it's a mass email box. I think it's info@warriorresearch.org. And you shoot a question in an email to them, and they're going to send you, they'll send you things in your area, information about what you can do to help. And they can open the door to that information that you need. It might not be something that they can say instantly to help you fix it, but they can definitely open doors for you to find that information you need so you can be able to help.
I had this other question I was going to ask you, Matt, and it then left my head.
All right.
Yeah, it's been a long day, but let's see.
I guess to me, like following up on the question that I just asked, spreading the word about, Warrior Research Foundation as well as Second Edition Red is very crucial for individuals that, they have not been through the experience that others might have been. So to get more information is, the best thing they can do is the ones that already are members of these, the Warrior Research Foundation as well as the Second Edition Red, is to spread the word and get others to read and learn how they can, help. Either it's going to be a family member or a close friend that's in need. So I believe the main thing, like you mentioned, is just coming to these two pages and understand and ask questions and get others that might have been through that to help those individuals.
Yeah, reach out to us. I mean, there's help out there, and there's someone that wants to listen. There's someone who wants to talk to you and help you out, whether you're trying to help somebody else out or you're that person that needs help. There's a huge community of us now that wants to help. And, maybe you're busy and in the middle of something and it's just on your mind, can't get it off your mind. Put it on there. Let us work the problem on the back end and then give you the information to be able to go forward and help.
Yeah. And if people want to find Second Edition Red, where would they be able to find Second Edition Red at?
Second Edition Red we have a group, the Second Edition Red group on Facebook, and we also have Second Edition Red Crisis Support, and it's a page on Facebook, and it kind of deals solely more with the hey, this is an issue that's happened with somebody, and we're asking for help. Like there's a lot of people put GoFundMe's and stuff on there. So if you're looking, I'll hop on there all the time and look for anything that if I got the money at the time, I can pitch in towards, and
right.
Both of those are on Facebook. Also, Warrior Research Foundation, they have a website. You can go on there and you can find Second Edition Red's information on there.
Right.
That's pretty much as big as we've gotten so far with technology. But there's a lot of us running around there talking to people and
right.
Shaking hands and trying to pass the good word.
Right. Well, like you were saying, that's about as big as we've gotten so far, but we've made an impact even bigger. So.
Yeah, and because we when an incident happens, and we're actively assisting towards whatever the incident is, we kind of keeping track of what's going on and what we've done, and it's amazing to think that. Actually, it's kind of scary to think that, if this wasn't set in place and we didn't have the admin team we had, we didn't have the support from Warrior Research Foundation, then, what would have happened? And it scares me to death to think about it. And I'm and it starts to make me feel bad that it hadn't been started sooner.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely, thankful for the whole admin team because, the things they do and the way they're helping, and the way things things are set up for the admin team of how, they run through the process to see, what we need to do to help. Do we need to contact local authorities? Do we need to contact someone in that area? Which is, easy. You get on Second Edition Red, you start looking around, you can go on there and, like your state flag or comment, what city you're on. And that makes it easy for the admin team to be able to find who's in that area.
Exactly.
So, if you got someone that's just out and needs to talk to somebody, we can find someone out there in that area that can, and even if you're in an area that we don't have a member in, we got members close by to that area. They'll find somebody that they know in that area that 99.9% of the time are willing to help.
Yeah, because that's one of the amazing things about Second Condition Red is that it's kind of like the National Suicide Hotline, but we're different. We do the same thing, but we will actually send people out there to help you out, and where you can get that face-to-face connection, where you see that the person that you're going to talk to or you're willing to talk to actually cares, because you can see it in their face instead of over a phone and have a voice. I give credit all to the National Suicide Hotline. I mean, if it helps you out, it helps you out. That's great. If you have a problem, call them. But if you want some other extra resources, you can also come to Second Condition Red. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, and it's a personality thing. Like if you can, talk to somebody on the phone, and and that get you calmed down and get you settled, and you start processing yourself through whatever issues is going on, then I would give every suicide hotline number out possible.
Yeah.
But if you need more physical support and emotional contact support that's going to last longer than that however long you're on the phone, that's where Second Condition Reds comes in.
Exactly.
We're here.
Right. Good.
But we ain't going anywhere. We're going to be here. There's going to be somebody up all night. I mean, we got people out in Iwakuni, Japan, Okinawa, Japan. There's a couple Army guys that rogered up from Germany. So there's people that are out there that they're going to be up when everybody else is asleep. So if I'm asleep, somebody's going to be up. So there's always going to be somebody on there that you can get in contact with to talk to, and they're going to instantly, if they're not an admin, then they're going to contact an admin. If they can't help you, they're going to contact an admin. That admin's going to run through the process to find someone near you or figure out what we need to do to help you out.
Yeah, have that where they can also maybe build that big brother, big sister type relationship bond, and then they know they're not alone. They know they have somebody out there they can speak with.
Yeah, and once you start that can also set the foundation for the Warrior Research's peer-to-peer kind of thing, where they're trying to get veterans in an area that may not know each other. I mean, you walk down the street and you might pass 5 veterans, but you don't know it, and you got all this stuff going on through your head and you don't know it. So that's part of it. It's trying to let you know that there's other veterans in that area that you can talk to. There's other people and there's other ways to get support rather than calling a suicide hotline.
Yeah.
And that's what it's there for, and that's the idea behind it, is to help, to get like-minded and experienced individuals together helping each other out.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on to the show tonight. We're going to have to wrap this up here in a little bit, and
all right.
We let Summer know that we're going to play a small clip from Echoes from Afghanistan, so we got to save a little bit of time for that. So, is there anything else
awesome.
you would anything else you would like to put out there real quick before?
Speak up, reach out, and keep life.
I hear you, brother. Keep life. All right, bro. It was a pleasure and honor having you on tonight.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thanks, Matt, for being on the show. Nice meeting you as well.
Absolutely. Y'all be good over there.
All right. You have a good night, and don't freeze out there.
Yeah,
seems like you got a little cold out there. Got a little cold going on. Well, feel better, and we'll be speaking soon.
All righty, y'all have a good one. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you. All right. So that was a good topic that we covered tonight with Dr. Summer Watson and Julie Kirkbride and Mac Berkhouse. It was a pleasure and honor having them on the show tonight, and I actually hope this helps somebody out there that's actually going through some situations. If you need to speak out, please do. If it ain't with a family member or a friend or something like that, come to Set Condition Red on Facebook page. You can be as discreet as you want to be. The thing is, you need to speak and let us know. And we will give all of our attention to you. Our biggest thing is to keep life. So we're going to go ahead and play this clip from Echoes from Afghanistan, and once it ends, we'll go off for the night. So y'all have a good night. Remember to keep life. Set Condition Red, Warriors Research Foundation.
Thanks everyone for tuning in once again with us. Remember every Thursday, 6 p.m. we have a different topic that we talk about. So go ahead and let us know what you would like to hear, and we'll schedule it. We can even bring people in just like we did today, and they can share their experience, and there are different ways on how to deal with that specific topic, and share the knowledge. All right, well, you guys have a good night. We'll go ahead and play this video. We'll share more information on how you can get the full video later once we get that information, but for now, let's go ahead and watch it.
A couple of them did extend for a year and a half just to go on the Afghanistan tour with us, but those guys started getting out, and I guess like 8 months later, you just hear so and so took their life. Another first impression is like, what the hell? Like, we just fought, we just did this, we just got back. Whether we were successful or not, we're successful because the majority of us came back. As much as people say, yeah, we support our veterans, as much as they say that we're here for them and there's all these opportunities and resources afforded to them, when you're the only person and you're in a town and you can't find someone who you can relate with that was in the military, you're alone. I 100% believe that. There's an issue with these guys that are just distant from the Marine Corps, or just distant from the brothers. You share so much with people, then it's gone. We spent 24 hours a day with each other, and you get rid of that. It's a huge void, and it's a big void in your heart.
Once again, everyone, we watched that video, Echoes from Afghanistan. That was a short clip. The full movie, once again, the link to it will be shared as soon as we get that information. But we just want to thank you for being with us today. Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and share this video. Many important things were discussed today. So let's all try and help and save lives. Please. That's something important that we all want to do. So go ahead and like and share this video. Let your other family and friends know about it, and have them. This video will be recorded, so it will be on our page. You can go back and replay it. And yeah. Anything last words to say, Tuck, before we leave?
Your life matters.